صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المذلومين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة، يا باب النجاة الأمة. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فلنفوز فوزا عظيما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قال إمام صادق عليه السلام: أيما مؤمن أوصل إلا أخيه المؤمن معروفا فقد أوصل ذلك إلا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he said that whoever does good to his believing brother is like one who has done good to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And when we think of the companions of the Imam, of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we remember the ambassador of Imam Hussein, Muslim ibn Aqil. He was the cousin of Imam Hussein. And Imam Hussein sent him ahead to scout out and see what was going on, lay the groundwork for his arrival in Kufa. He was going to see who the supporters of the Imam were. All of these people wrote letters. Were they sincere or not? Did they really want the Imam to come or not? He went ahead of the Imam. Supporting our Imam has the utmost importance in our life. One of the most important things we can do. And we see a lot of emphasis even on supporting our fellow Muslim brother because of our belief in Allah, our belief in Rasulullah and walayat of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. We have many rights that we owe each other. Some narrations say that we even have 30 rights. And if we learn these 30 rights and truly honor these 30 rights, our communities all over the world would be an amazing place. We wouldn't have many of the problems that we have around the world now. So doing good towards our brother in faith, it stems from a place of love. We love each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And this love, this belief, it transcends race, transcends ethnicity. So it doesn't matter where the person is from. They can be from Iraq, Iran, Lebanon, anywhere, Africa, Turk, America, anywhere. Because of this love of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, it unites us all together. Supporting your fellow believer by doing good to them and wanting good for them is a very good act in Islam, and it carries a very big reward. And we mentioned the other night that Imam Sadiq alayhi salam in a riwayat that he said that after the believer is raised from his grave, Allah will create something that looks like him, another type of creation, and it will help him throughout his travels. And it will always say, don't worry, you are safe, and give him comfort. And then when he gets to the Jannah, the man asked that lookalike, what are you? What did Allah create you for, or from what? And he said, Allah created me from the happiness that you gave to your believing brother. Subhanallah. So helping our fellow believers has a lot of reward in Islam. When Muslim ibn Aqil went to Kufa, he found that there were 18,000 people there that pledged allegiance to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And through Muslim ibn Aqil, they offered all of their support for the Imam. They honored the ambassador of Imam Hussein. They honored Muslim ibn Aqil. They treated him with respect due to his connection to the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Yet when Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad came to claim the governorship of this Kufa, the tide changed. They welcomed Muslim in the beginning, But when Ibn Ziyad came, he was ruthless. He was hunting down Shias. People were afraid for their lives. And Kufa became split into two groups. Some people still supported the Imam, and majority were as this poet that Imam Hussein alayhi salam ran into on his way, Farazdak. He said to Imam Hussein about the people of Kufa, their hearts are with you, but their swords are against you. This is the situation. So, first thing Ibn Ziyad did was to speak to the tribal rulers, get them on his side, say that he is appointed by the Khalif of the time, and the ruler of the time, Yazid. Secondly, he ordered the local police in the town to gather a list of supporters of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, those who were opposed to Bani Umayyah. He threatened that whichever police officer doesn't do this, he would lose his rights. His blood, his money, all will become halal for everyone else. He will lose everything. He's frightening people. Then he said, if anyone is found to have hate against Amirul Mu'mineen, but he doesn't mean our Amirul Mu'mineen, he's referring to Yazid. He said, if anyone is found to have hate against Yazid and was not reported, the police officer of that district would be crucified on the door of his house, and that whole district would not get any funding. So imagine how scared the people were. So they were going to give information when they are scared. The third step he did was to look for the leader of the movement. He went to look for Muslim ibn Aqil, who had went into hiding. He was hiding in the house of Hani ibn Urwa. Hani ibn Urwa was well respected in Kufa, and he had a very big tribe. So Ibn Ziyad used a lot of spies to try to find Muslim ibn Aqil. And they had built a big intelligence network. Unfortunately, it depended on a lot of people who claimed to be followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. He found out that Muslim was hiding in the house of Hani ibn Urwa. So Ibn Ziyad summoned Hani to the palace to give up Muslim. Hani, refused. He denied, I don't know anything about these things. He's trying to protect Muslim. Then he said, if he is my guest, how do you expect me to surrender my guest to you? Ibn Ziyad said, bring him closer. So they did. He said, Wallahi, you'll bring him or I will kill you. So he said, if you do so, my whole tribe will surround your palace. All the swords of my tribe will be there. So he said, oh, what do you think? You're going to threaten me with swords? I am the leader of this town now. And some friction started between them. So when he said this, Ibn Ziyad didn't care about Muslim ibn Aqil or his tribe. And he ended up hitting Muslim ibn Aqil. Ibn Ziyad slapped Muslim ibn Aqil across the face. Ya Allah, took an iron rod and continued hitting him in the face. This is what he went through for the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and supporting Muslim ibn Aqil. Hani grabbed the sword from one of the guards there to defend himself. Then hundreds of his tribe surrounded this palace. But Ibn Ziyad was clever. He played a trick. He got the Qadi Shurey, to use his appearance as a religious person to go out and tell them that the tribe, tell the tribe that Muslim, he is okay, nothing wrong with him, don't worry, and to leave. He is alive, he's healthy. Muslim ibn Aqil found out what is going on. He said, this moment is getting very close. I need to do something. So he had to act quickly. He started mobilizing the forces by day, but at night people would come and give speeches dissuading people away from Muslim ibn Aqil and his support. They said, save yourself, save your family. Ibn Ziyad will make your life miserable if you go against him. They were scaring people, don't support Muslim. The wives would go to their husbands and say, don't go, let somebody else go, take your place. Just sit at home. Everyone is turning away from Muslim ibn Aqil at this moment. So this was Bani Umayyah's propaganda to turn people away from the support of Muslim ibn Aqil, from supporting Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Unfortunately, people fell for these tactics because they didn't have a firm understanding of what the Quran teaches. This is one of the reasons it's so important to study the Holy Quran, the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and the movements of Islam throughout the ages. What happened in each of these time periods. We have to fortify ourselves with knowledge. We have to become strong. We have to attain certainty so we don't abandon the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam when times become difficult. Imagine the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. When he comes, there will be also people calling not to support the Imam of our time. What will we do? Will we stand strong against the odds and we will support the Imam no matter what? Or will we be like those people that's mentioned in the narrations? They say, Yabna Zahra, go back. We are comfortable. We don't need you. It's in narrations. This will happen. They are living a comfortable life. They have a house, they have a job, they have savings, they are taking vacations, they are living comfortable, they don't want any problems. They say, yeah, Imam, we called you, but we really didn't think you would come. Just go back, we are living comfortable. Or will we support the Imam of our time with whatever he wants? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ati Allah wa ati Rasul wa ulul amr minkum. Obey Allah, obey the Messenger, and those in charge of authority from amongst you. Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Look at all of those people who claim to love Imam Hussein alayhi salam, wrote to him numerous letters, told him to come rule over Kufa, and how they changed overnight at the first obstacle they faced. First time they faced something. It's very easy to say we are with the Imam when we are not facing any problems. But as soon as we face a problem, will we be there or not? It said that Muslim ibn Aqil went to lead Salat in the masjid, and there were thousands of followers behind him. When he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, he turned around, no one is there. Only a few people stayed with Muslim. When he walked through the streets of Kufa, people shut their windows on him like he was a stranger. He was gharib. Just a minute ago, everyone was looking to get a glimpse of Muslim. They wanted to go welcome him. Thousands upon thousands of people. Now the situation, they just closed the curtains. I don't even know him. This is the situation. It happened to Muslim ibn Aqil. And we have a riwayat from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam that said the harshest people with the alam, with the scholar, are those of the same belief, not other people. We see who did this to Muslim people that invited him to come, invited Imam Hussein alayhi salam to come. This wasn't just Bani Umayyah, this was the people who wanted Imam to come. And they treated Muslim ibn Aqil in this way. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sometimes this may happen to us in our life. People were our friends, people were our supporters, but later on they change and they turn. Something happens and they end up turning against us. I've seen this happen many times to many different people, especially to the students in the Hawza. When they reach the level, they finish Muqaddamat, for example, and they come to take their Amama. This happens to them a lot. The student studies hard for many years. He looks to be embraced by the community when he goes back, for example. He's enthusiastic to spread the message of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, but then he is faced with some opposition when he returns. I was told before I took my amama over 10 years ago that, they said that when you put amama, you will lose a lot of your friends. Maybe friends, family, and these things. It was hard for me to fathom this idea, How come? Because in our minds, we think that everyone loves the sheikh or the sayyid or the alim. Everyone loves him. However, the reality is very different. A lot of people don't talk about it, but inshallah, I want to share some of these things. It's good to be aware about them. I witnessed this happening to many people when they came and took the amama and they started this path. They put on the labasa taqwa, as they say. They lost their close friends. Many people turned against them, unfortunately. One of my friends, he received his amama from Marja. The same day, my friend Sayyid, he took his amama. His very close friend came online, and what did he say? He said, oh, they're just giving amama to anybody these days. Close friend, like best friend, you know. My friend was discouraged. He was very shocked. I can't believe it. It's coming from my inner circle. People I was around a lot. We even studied together and all of these things. Another friend of mine grew up in a community from small. Imagine someone, you know, growing up in community and then they go and they study. He also took amama from Marja and Kum. When he came back to his community, he was excited to, you know, help out the community. That's what he went to study for. But, you know, the problem is in these situations many people face is people remember you how you were before. They know the old version of you. Sometimes they struggle to recognize the person that you have become, that you have grown into. So they don't see your sacrifice that you have done, your growth, the new responsibilities, you know, to continue. They continue to view you through the lens of your past. They only see you how you were. So when my friend, the sheikh, he came to his local community wearing amama, the person over the center, he said to him that in front of everyone, that amama doesn't mean anything to me. And for sanctity of this majlis, I don't even want to say what he told him to do with that amama, unfortunately. Can you believe it? This is what happens, but no one sees it. We don't talk about it too much. But many people are facing a lot of difficulties in the path of Imam Hussein. It's not an easy path. It reminds me of the narration Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said. When he told me this thing many years ago, this riwayat came to my mind. It said, a believer's faith is not proven unless in the eyes of the public he is worse than the corpse of a donkey. Very difficult. Some of my friends who are ulama, they have become very discouraged with dealing with people because they have faced a lot of bad treatment from around. This is not just a problem here. This is a problem all over the place. The two people I mentioned don't even live in America, live other countries. This problem, I travel all over the world. There's this problem everywhere. They start contemplating, maybe I should isolate myself and not deal with community anymore. Maybe I should just take my amama off. This is a test that we have to go through. The scholar looks after the community, but who checks on the scholar? The scholar many times, no one writes them unless they need something, have a khira or a question or something, then we write the alim. But if you think, the alim, most of the time, he is left alone. We should invite them. A lot of times here, I've been invited many places, mashallah. But we have to think about the local scholar, wherever we are. Take care of them. They are thinking of everybody. We have to check on them also. Ask them how they are doing. Many people don't ask, you know. We have to check on them. Many times they are alone. And I have faced this myself. And I always recall how Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, alayhi salam, when he was grief-stricken, he would speak into the well. This is the only thing that could handle the burden of the grief that Imam Ali alayhi salam went through. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَوَصَّ بِالصَّبْرِ. We say this all the time, Surah Asr. We have to advise with patience. And when we look at this task of advising other people, it is a very difficult task. It's very hard, it's very tiresome. Sometimes people can want to give up on this task of advising other people. They give up on the fact of people being guided at all because they face so many difficulties. But we have to look at Nabi Nuh alayhi salam. As they were mentioning the lecture before this, Nabi Nuh gave tabligh for many years, 950 years. In the end, only a handful of people followed Nuh alayhi salam. Most of us would have given up after the first year, let alone 950 years. Many of us would have given up after the first day. It's so difficult. Sometimes we will face rejection, bad attitudes. People will make fun of us in our life. This is not just for a scholar, anyone. We will face these type of things. Maybe someone will even curse at us. It happens. The prophets faced all of these things and worse when it came to advising other people. So advising others takes a lot of patience, a lot of determination. We have to genuinely care for each other as brothers and sisters in faith. Then we will be concerned about helping one another when we see there are in need. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he said, I feel sympathetic for three types of people. One is those who suffered humiliation after having honor. The second one is those who became needy after having wealth. The third one is the scholar who has been belittled by the community and ignorant people. Imam knows. He said, I feel sympathetic towards these people who are going through these things. I have also had my share of many instances. If we were to talk about this, it would take a long time. But many people turn on you when you put on amama. They go against you. The common thing I see that happens to the student when he puts on the amama is that some people say, how come he got amama and not me? I have more knowledge than he does, but they preferred him to me. The root is hasad, jealousy, envy. Envy, from Riwayat, says destroys the faith like the fire burns wood. The Prophet described a type of people that they always criticize something. He said if they will envy and accuse of showing off when they see the person do something good, and they will also criticize them if they see something else and say he is sinful. So either way, you are losing in that situation. Everything they notice, they will have something to say. And it reminds me of a story that a sheikh once told me, because I was going through these things in the beginning. I said, Sheikh, I don't know what to do with this. And he told me there was this moral story. This man was walking with his son. They were traveling with their donkey. At first, they both walked beside the donkey. People saw them and said, how stupid are these guys? They have a donkey, neither one of them is riding it. So he told his son, you hear that? Okay. So the father put his son on the donkey. He walks beside it. They passed by some more people. Said, look at that disrespectful boy. He is riding the donkey and he's making his son walk. So the father said, okay, you hear that, son? So the son got down. The father got on the donkey. Then the other people they passed by, what a selfish father. He is riding that donkey and making his son walk beside the donkey. So the father placed his son on the donkey with him. They are both riding. They go by some more people. They say, how cruel are these people? Those two people riding that animal, they're going to break the back of the donkey. The only thing left for them was to put the donkey on their back and start walking. Any situation we go through in life, someone is going to say something about it. Someone is going to complain. We are not able to please everyone. Another unfortunate thing that happens in our communities around the world is that even some scholars view the other scholars as competition. Unfortunately, they try to block the progress of the other one, and they don't show support for one another. Unfortunately, this happens. Not all the time. Some support each other, but many times this is happening all around the world. They don't support other people's projects because it could be the best project and they need help, but they won't support because they say, I'm not involved in the project. It's not my name on the project, so I won't support. I won't share it. If we see someone doing something good, we should encourage them. We should support them. We are all on the same team. There's no competition in this. Some sheikhs who came before me, maybe 20 years they've had their amama. When they were students, while they were studying, the local scholars in their city, they came to the sheikh who was teaching them. And they got very upset with this sheikh for teaching these brothers, the Hausa. They said, why would you teach these American guys? You know, their English is very good. So you teach them the sciences. They put on amama. They come and sit on mimbar. Where will we give majlis at? They will come and they will take our hadiyah, and we won't have any place to lecture. Astaghfirullah. This is what is happening. Imagine that. They don't see the point that we're all on the same team. We're all working together toward the same goals. The more scholars they have to serve the community, the better. We should be supporting each other in our endeavors. We shouldn't divide. It doesn't matter, okay, you follow this marja, you follow that marja. Who cares? Doesn't matter. They're like the doors to the haram of Imam. They all have different names, but when you go through those different doors, you are going to the same place. It's like this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I will share one story with you to show you the type of things when we go on this path of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, type of difficulties we have to face. Didn't talk about it for a very long time. I kept it to myself. And eventually I worked through. So I faced a very difficult situation a long time ago, maybe 8 years or so ago. So I went to Husseiniya. I was living in a different town. I traveled. They invited me. I went there. When I went to this place, you know, they were pleading with me. Please move here. They are crying. They say our children will get lost. Our children will get deviated. Their tears are coming down their face. I said, these people, they don't have anybody. Maybe I should just, you know, go there and move to that place. So I agreed, and they said, okay, we'll make you resident alim. We'll provide for your move. We will help you move here. We will give some money for a place to stay and these type of things. I said, I'm going to go to Iraq for a while, to Najaf, and once I come back, maybe 1 or 2 months later, then I'll come. So when I came back home to America, I went there, and then I rented the house, signed the contract. Few streets away from Husseiniya, so I could be easily go there. So after I signed the lease, I went and met with the people there that had invited me, and they told me to have a meeting in one of their houses. So I went there. One of them plainly said, what are you doing here? Why are you even here? So I said, you don't remember? We talked about this. You told me to come. You invited me. Other person there, their family is crying. They told me to come. We agreed, okay, we will sort everything out for you. And he acted like he didn't even want me there. What are you doing here? He said, matter of fact, we're going to close the Husseiniya. But they weren't going to close it. He said, we're going to close the Husseiniya. You should just leave. I said, well, I've already signed a lease and put a deposit, and I've already situated all my stuff to move. If you're going to close the Husseiniya, okay. But we can come do programs in my house. It's small, but I'll open it up. We can do programs in my house and your house, wherever. We'll do dua kamel and these things. The owner of the place told me, he said, you do dua in your house, I do dua in my house. And the dua goes up and goes wherever it needs to go. They don't want anything to do with it. They didn't end up closing the Husseiniya, but I wasn't welcome there anymore. I was very in shock. I came to help people, and they closed the door on me. I lived just a few streets away from the Husseiniya. They had no alim there at all. It was very far away, but they didn't want me to come. They would rather put the TV and put a lecture from YouTube, for example. And I'm just 2-3 streets away. I wanted to help, but they wouldn't let me. They're facing these type of things. It was so bad that a few brothers from community came to my house, and they told me, we are embarrassed on how they are treating you, and we have nothing to do with it. It's only the management, and we don't want you to lump us in, because they knew it was wrong. So, honestly, it's very hard to see these type of things happening in community. I was frustrated, heartbroken at what I'm facing. I did a lot of work to come and study and go and help. And one of the good brothers there, eventually after a year or so, he brought the person to my house. Said, "I'm going to fix this." Brought the person to my house. So this person, he wanted to smooth over the situation. The man came to my house and he sat down and he said, "Oh, you think you are better than me because you have a mama and you have Abba. You're better than me?" He said, "I am from the land of Islam. Those clothes don't make you anything compared to me." So I'm like, it's in my house, what is happening here, So I calmly told him, it's not the case. Every profession has a uniform. A doctor wears a uniform. A policeman wears a uniform. Firefighter wears a uniform. This is the uniform of a scholar. That's it. Then he said, if I allow you to come to Husseiniya again, you have to come without your amama, without your abba, and you have to pray in the back of the rank, not here in the front. You have to pray in the back, and we will choose one person from amongst us, and they will lead you in salat. I'm not going to subject myself to humiliation. So I told him something to make him think. I said, maybe the marja made a mistake when he gave me my amama, and you know better than he does. And he got quiet. So he walks over to the bookshelf. I have all these books. He grabs Arabic book, says, can you even read this? If I open it up, can you even read it? This is the thing. I told him, go ahead, open this book, wherever you want, just to show him something, prove a point. So he opened up the book right away. I saw the hadith in Arabic, read it to him in English, translated it to him. He said, oh, so you do know. The thing is, what would make you assume that I don't know? And the problem is that many people, unfortunately, when they see someone that's not from their region, they may be someone from Africa or from someone from America or someone from another place. They think that they don't know. This is the thing. So after he left, insulted my house on the way out, said, you need to fix a few things, and then he left. The brother wanted to make the situation better, but this guy ended up making it worse. So, later that year, I ended up going to Arba'in. This thing was bothering me, I did a lot of work. I want to serve the community, but they're not letting me. I'm living right next to Husseiniya. So I ended up going to Arba'in. I wasn't doing anything where I was at, so I said maybe I should just go further my studies some more. So I go to Najaf. I'm over there. The situation is weighing on me very heavy. So I'm trying to not think about it, but psychologically it's back in the back of my mind somewhere all of the time. Trying to ignore this thing, still lingering. So I went to Arba'in. Heart was very heavy. I had the privilege to go to Samara in that time to visit the shrine of Imam Hadi, Imam Askari, alayhim as-salam. Alhamdulillah, I had tawfiq to be born on waladat of Imam Askari, alayhi salam. And when I started this program that I have for the prisoners, I send the books to the prisons. 4,000 people, alhamdulillah, came to Tushayu through this program. In the beginning, I dedicate all thawab for Imam Hassan al-Askari, alayhi salam. So all the crowds of people, when you walk to the haram, it looks close, but it takes you a while, especially in Arba'in. It takes like almost an hour to walk to the haram. So by the time I got there, Salatul Jama'ah just finished. So I was about to pray in the Sahan, in the courtyard, Farada. This is what we do. We don't make like a new Jama'ah, we just pray Farada afterwards. It's custom. So I went to go pray my Farada. A man came to me with his son. He asked me, can I pray Salah with you? I said, no, Salah already finished. Just do Farada. I will do Farada here. He said, no, I want to pray, salat with you. I told him again, same thing. No, I could put my turba down. I was like, you go pray over there. I'm going to pray over here. So he kept insisting. He said, I came to pray behind you, and I'm not going to pray alone. Like he told me, I'm not going to pray alone unless I pray with you. So I was surprised. I said, okay. I give in. I've told you 3 times, pray for other. You don't want to do it. Okay, it's just you and your son. Just go ahead. So I started the takbir, just this guy and his son behind me. And subhanAllah, I did my taslim. I turned around. There are 4 rows of people in the sahan praying behind me in jama'ah. I was get scared, I said, oh man, I just prayed with this one. I didn't know all these people were going to come behind me in this manner. And I felt, that after this, even though the people that were bothering me, this guy told me in my face, if you come and pray in our Husayniyah, take your amama off and pray in the back. Telling me this, I felt that the Imam gave me a gift. He said, they won't let you pray in your local Husayniyah. They're giving you problem, but I let you pray in my shrine, in my sahan, near me. After that, I didn't care anymore. I was like, I forgot all about it. I said, that's all that matters. I realized I got a very big sense of peace from this, that Imam honored me to do that one thing. So I didn't care no more. Someone pray behind me, someone doesn't pray behind me, khalas, it doesn't matter. I'm good. Some converts, they may be abandoned even by their family when they come to this path of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, when they become Muslims. I just met a brother. I went to Sweden for Eid al-Ghadir. He converted to Tashayyu. His whole family told him, you are not from us anymore. You are not our family anymore. Imagine that. The loneliness of the person when they come towards path of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. And I told him, this happened to me also for some time dealing with my family. Some Muslims from other schools, from Ahlul Sunnah, for example, when they come to Tashayyu also, they will be abandoned because they embrace the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Some may be mistreated by their friends, by their co-workers, by their communities. Many people will face a lot of trials on this path of Ahlul Bayt. And we are told this by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. One time a man came to Rasulullah. He said, O Messenger of Allah, I love you. He said, then expect many trials, many tribulations. He said, I love your cousin Ali. He said, then be prepared to have many enemies. He said, I love Hassan and I love Hussein. He said, then get ready for much poverty and much affliction. This story of Muslim ibn Aqil, it should give us strength. How he stood on the path of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, even when he was abandoned by everybody else. And when we are lonely, when we are facing difficulties, think about the life of Muslim ibn Aqil and get strength from his story, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You can turn the light. When I think about Muslim ibn Aqil, I can picture a lonely, abandoned Muslim ibn Aqil wandering the streets of Kufa. Just yesterday, everyone is welcoming Muslim ibn Aqil with open arms, trying to get a glimpse of Muslim ibn Aqil, the ambassador of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But now, Muslim is all alone. He is gharib in Kufa. The city was at this time becoming very dark. You could hear the hooves of the horses beating. There was a curfew in town at this time. The enemies were after him. He covered his head with a cloak. He didn't want anyone to notice him. Where could he go in this city that betrayed Muslim ibn Aqil? He was exhausted. He didn't know where to go. No one opened their door for him. He just went and sat on the doorstep, not knowing where to go, what to do. An old lady came out with a candle, and she asked him, what are you doing there? He said, please, can you just give me some water? So she gave him some water, Afterwards, this lady said, "My son, why don't you return home? Don't you have a house? Don't you realize that your wife and your children will be worried for you? Don't you have a house with a wife and children?" Muslim ibn Aqil began to think of his family, eyes filled with tears. He said, "Good lady, I do have a house, but it is very far away. My wife and daughters are at home. My sons are in Kufa, but perhaps they will wait for me forever. In this unfriendly town, I have no place to go." She asked him, "Son, where did you come from?" He said, "I am from the city of Rasulullah. I came as a guest. The people of Kufa invited me. Thousands welcomed me here. Now there is not a single person who will let me in his house." She raised the candle, brought it closer to his face. Once she saw him, she said, "How can I not recognize when your words, your accent, your demeanor all had the stamp of the household of the Prophet?" She began to cry. She said, "How will I face Fatima to Zahra on the day of judgment when she'll ask me, 'Taw'a, my Hussein's emissary came to you without friends, without shelter, without anywhere to go, but you turned him away. What reply will I give to Fatima to Zahra? The least I can let you do is stay in my house till you can escape from this city." She said for Muslim to stay in this room of her house. She gave him food. But how could Muslim bring himself to eat anything on a night like this? How could he eat when he is wondering about his two small children wandering the streets of Kufa, if they are okay or not? He decided to spend his night in prayers. The lady told Muslim that she had a son that was in the military and that he was a trustworthy follower of Ahlul Bayt. She said, "I will ask him for help when he comes home." The son came home. She asked him, "Where were you?" Said, "I was out patrolling the streets looking for Muslim." She couldn't believe it. She said, "No, I just want to go out and bring the sons of Muslim home to him." Later that night, he snuck out of the house, telling his mother, "I'm going to look for the sons of Muslim ibn Aqil, bring them back to their father." While in reality, he wanted to claim the prize with Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. He came back with soldiers to the house for Muslim's arrest. At that time, Muslim was making his dua. When he heard the hooves of the horses, he knew they came for him. So he grabbed his sword and he rushed out of the house. This old lady, may Allah bless her, she stood in the doorway. She couldn't believe that her son had brought soldiers to the house to arrest her guest. She fell at the feet of Muslim. She said, "Ya Muslim, how can I explain? I didn't have anything to do with this. It was my cursed son who betrayed you. I never thought he would do something like this. I won't let the soldiers come into my house. They have to kill me first." Muslim said, I honor you. Just step aside. Just let me go out as your guest. I cannot allow you to be killed on my behalf. Let me go out and defend myself." The soldiers were surprised to see Muslim ibn Aqil coming out of the house like a lion. He fought them one by one in the alleyway. They knew they couldn't stop him, so they dug a sort of hole for him. They covered this place as a trap. They couldn't face him one-on-one, so they got to the rooftops. They started throwing stones at Muslim from the rooftop. They shot arrows at Muslim ibn Aqil. They were raining fire down on Muslim. They backed him up until he fell in the hole that they had dug for him. He started losing blood. He fainted. When he came to, he found himself as a prisoner. His wounds made him thirsty. If only he knew the thirst of Abu Abdullah on the day of Ashura. Before being brought to the court of Ubaydullah, Muslim was paraded through the streets of Kufa with heavy chains. The people of Kufa, who only a few days ago were welcoming Muslim, competing to get a glimpse of Muslim, now they were watching him from the windows as if he was a complete stranger. Ya Allah, even some of them were cruel enough to throw stones at Muslim while he was in chains. When Muslim was brought before Ubaydullah, he stood up with dignity. Ubaydullah wanted to seem noble in the eyes of the people, so he told them, according to the age-old Arab custom, give me your last desire and I will fulfill it for you. He had thought perhaps Muslim will ask for the safety for his young children, to spare their lives, but Muslim ibn Aqil only had one thing on his mind. That was the safety of Abu Abdullah, Imam Hussein. Like a drowning person reaching out for his last hope to be rescued, Muslim decided this is his only chance. He said, Ubaydullah, if you are true to your word, then fulfill my last wish and send a message to my master, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Tell him to go back to Medina. Forget the idea of coming to Kufa. Ubaydullah could never accept this request. He ordered the executioners to take Muslim to the top of the government house to behead Muslim ibn Aqil for all the people to see. When the sword of the executioner was swaying over Muslim's head, his last thoughts were with his master Hussein. His only regret was that he could not warn Hussein about the people of Kufa. They severed the blessed head of Muslim ibn Aqil. If this was not enough, they took the body of Muslim ibn Aqil and they threw it from the rooftop down to the streets of Kufa. How many bones of Muslim must have broken when it hit the ground? Ya Allah! As if this was not enough, they ordered that they take his head and send it to Yazid. As for the body, they refused to bury him. Where did they take his body? They took the body of Muslim to the place where they used to throw the garbage. They crucified Muslim ibn Aqil upside down in this place for everyone to see. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر الأحد مني لزياراتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. رحم الله من ذكر القائم فصلى. يا حسين